everyone, today in this video I'm going to be checking out the iRobot Roomba Combo J5 Plus. I did purchase this product myself, and any opinion expressed in this video is strictly my own. That being said, if you're interested in this vacuum and mop combo, or you want to find out more about it, the link to it will be in the video description. Let's go ahead, let's jump right in and check out what we got. Here's a look at all of our key components. There's a couple things you need to know. So the first and biggest thing is when you get your new vacuum, it'll actually say iRobot Roomba J7 on it. This is a J7 vacuum, but it's called the J5 or the J5 Plus, depending on which version that you get. Second thing is the Plus just signifies that you got the self-empty base. You can get this vacuum as just a regular J5 without the self-empty. So with that self-empty base, you'll see up here, got a vacuum bag, nice storage for an extra bag. It'll drive up here, it'll charge, it will self-empty there. On the back side, we have this channel here so we can easily see visually if we have any clogs. And it's just a couple Phillips head screws to remove if we ever need to do that. And then the biggest thing here is we have our dedicated mopping tank in module here. So this gives us not only the ability to vacuum, but we get mopping. We can add our water right there, up to 210 milliliters. And then you'll see our mopping pad already installed. These are washable, replaceable, really easy. They just slide right out, pop it back in, and it Velcros in place. So mix and match too. Your vacuum will come with a dedicated dustbin. This fits on a J7 or a J6, as you've guessed, since that's what this vacuum is. But you can also mix and match it if you want to do vacuuming and mopping with this module. Just pop it right in the bag. So that's what you need to know. Now let's go ahead and try it out. All right, we just finished our first clean. Let's look at the results. So first up on the vacuum, you'll see we do have some dirt and dust now on it, a nice faint layer of dust. That's a great sign though. That means it's actually agitating and going around and stirring up everything that you want to vacuum up. So that's just from the top, a little bit of dust there. Let's look at it from the side, get a feel of the sensors, the bumper. You'll see we have some additional dust on that front facing sensor, so make sure you wipe that down occasionally. Now we'll look at it from the bottom side. You'll see our side cleaning brush right here has one human hair tangled on it. That's where you will find occasional tangles, is on this side cleaning brush for long hairs. But look at the AeroForce cleaning system. No tangles here at all. That is great. That's very typical of these vacuums. If you have a lot of pet hair or long-haired humans in your house, this is one of the best systems out there to get that hair up as well as to avoid tangles. And then you'll see our dustbin right here. Look at that, so gross. Let's go ahead, let's pull that out and look at our real world contents. So 2 kids, 2 adults, and a dog. This is just after one clean. Look at this, so gross, so nasty. Our dustbin's very full, tons of pet hair. We got some heavier crumbs and debris a little bit further down in there. And let me go ahead and dump it out so we can see the full effect here of everything that we vacuumed up. It's just crazy to me that I have my house vacuumed every day with another RoboVac, and this can still pick up this much stuff. So inside, some really fine dirt and dust. You'll see a lot of that tangled in here with the hair, but we got leaves, crumbs. I mean, look at that mess just after one pass. Now it's time to install the mop pad and module, and we'll see how it does with its first mop. let's look at the mop itself. We'll see how it did. It's just damp. I'm not even really seeing much discoloration. So looks really good. Now what's pretty amazing to me is we picked up even more hair just having it go around and mop. So pretty incredible stuff there. And what is nice with this attachment, it will still mop and vacuum. So it's not just vacuum only or mop only. You do get vacuuming and mopping with this installed, which is nice because initially I actually thought with this vacuum it was either or, but you don't lose that vacuuming functionality when you want to use the mop. Now that we finished cleaning, I wanted to show you briefly the iRobot app for our Roomba J5. This is what it's going to look like. You'll see some key features here. First one I want to go over is the map settings. So we selected the map icon. Here's our main floor. This does support multi-level mapping. There's a nice breakout of our map. You'll see that I've changed it up a little bit. I've added a couple of no-go zones and cleaning zones and things like that. But at the bottom, we have our room dividers, room labels, so we can rearrange this as needed. And then we have our zone section. So here's the keep out zones in red, drag and drop as you see fit. Here's the no mop zones. That's going to be in purple. That's what I have down here. Drag and drop as you see fit. You can add multiples of each of these. It doesn't just have to be one per map. And then here's our clean zone. So if you really like to target particular areas, maybe entryways, highly trafficked, maybe a back door where your dogs, pets, kids play, that sort of thing, you can set up those cleaning zones right there within the map. So easy to drag and drop and customize as you see fit. Then you'll see we have a favorite section here. So if you have a frequent cleaning preference you like, just add your favorite. You can name it, color code it, clean everywhere, which map. Do you want to pick a particular room, zone? Very simple. So you can add your favorites. And then we have really nice scheduling. We can do it by time. So that's typical. Choose the hour when you want it to start, which days of the week. Do you want it to clean everywhere? The J5 will work with Brava jets, which is cool, but this does have a mop with it, so interesting nonetheless. But pick and choose, room, zone, that sort of thing. But they also have an automation setting. So instead of at a specific time, it's smart enough to detect when you leave your home, and then it will start cleaning. So a couple good options there for you. And then we have our cleaning history. So we can see our vacuum in action. It'll load the map from the clean. This is what's really cool. It shows you obstacles that it detected as well. That's what the little cube is on the map. And here's pictures. So they got chords right there. So let's select begin review. It's going to ask for some feedback. Look at that. We can contribute to the database. You can choose add keep out zone, temporary obstacle, that sort of thing. It should say permanent obstacle, which is probably why it wants you to add a keep out zone. And then you'll see temporary. I'm going to say temporary because those are shoes. So we're to contribute that too. I want to build out that AI so it's even better for everybody. We all win. Tidy up options. I'm going to select I'm done. So really cool that we can see that after the fact. Cleaning area, how long it was running for, charging time. Pretty sweet though. So that's what we're seeing there with the little cube, identifying some of those objects and obstacles for us. Everything in green is the area that it actually covered. And we just get a nice breakdown of our cleaning history there by area and by lifetime. So you'll see everything. And then messages, if we ever get any messages, they'll show up there. And then you'll see further down product health. That's going to help us with maintenance to see some wear and tear when it's time to, upgrade and replace things as needed. And then we have our product settings. So this will teach us more about the vacuum. We can see like our serial number, things like that. We can locate it if it gets lost. We can adjust our cleaning preferences here. Do you want 1 pass or 2 passes? Pick and choose. What do you want to do when the bin is full? A couple of key settings here. Do you want to turn obstacle detection on or off? Child lock, status lights, language, reboot, Wi-Fi, and if we need to reconnect or change Wi-Fi settings there. So it's a very simple app that I would say is very user-friendly as well. So how does the J5 stack up against the competition? Not only will we be comparing it to over 40 plus robo vacuum cleaners that we've personally tested, we'll also be comparing it within iRobot's own lineup with the 15 iRobot units that we've tested as well. So first up, we'll talk about max suction power. This is measured in PAs. iRobot does not make this information readily available, so it's a mystery for us what the PA rating is, but what you need to know typically with their vacuums in regards to suction power, they tend to be on the lower side, which is probably why it isn't advertised, but with its unique AeroForce cleaning system with the dual brush rollers, it more than makes up for that lack of suction power with real-world cleaning results. But if you're wondering, average tested typically from a RoboVac would be about 3,800 PAs. Next, we have max CFM. The higher, the better, just like suction power. This is another indicator to let us know how good of a job a vacuum should do cleaning. And this is all in the world of theoreticals, but we'll actually look at some real world performance and testing too. So the J5 comes in at 1.7. That's one of the lowest readouts that we've gotten with an iRobot vacuum. And we thought it was really interesting since this is just a J7 vacuum. We looked at our J7 results, and again, we didn't even match that in regards to CFM, but we'll take it for what it is with a little bit of a grain of salt. You'll see that the brand average we got for Roombas is right around 3 CFM. I put an asterisk there because the S9 is off the charts at over 11 CFM, so that skews our average up to that 7-ish range. But typically, if we're looking at the I and the J series or the 600 series vacuums, you'll be in that 2 to 3 range. And then compared to all average, you'll see 7.1 CFM. So again, well below average in these first two metrics, but you'll see with our real world results, our deep cleaning test, we get fantastic scores. So near perfect with the J5 at 95 out of the best possible 100. iRobot's brand average coming in right at 88, which is still above average score of 85. So if you're looking for some of the best performance available, you'll see that iRobot in their Roomba lineup, regardless of the series that you're choosing, is definitely going to be at the average or above average in regards to real-world deep cleaning performance. Next, let's talk about decibels. We got a score of 68 decibels for our J5. That's right at the brand average of 68, and overall, the tested average is 69. There's no distinguishable difference between a 68 and a 69 decibel vacuum. I would say typically your Roombas are going to be on the quieter side compared to some other vacuums, especially those with the higher suction power ratings. If you turn on like a max or a turbo mode, those can get pretty loud. Battery life is next. This is measured in minutes. The J5 has a 180-minute battery life according to the Amazon product page. So typically you'll see with the J7, they advertise 75 minutes, and this is a J7 vacuum, but that's not enough. You'll get more than 75 minutes of runtime. I would say expect around 100 minutes or so, give or take, depending on your cleaning environment. But it's also a moot point because this supports the ability to go back home, recharge, and then resume cleaning. You'll see the brand average is 104. That's skewed lower because most vacuums are advertised within their lineup at that 75-minute mark. As tested for all vacuums we've covered, you'll see about 150 minutes. So typically, your Roomba lineup's going to have less battery life and runtime, but with these vacuums being more premium vacuums, they have recharge and resume functionality. So theoretically, for most cases, you won't need that extra runtime because it can just go back home and charge as it sees fit. Battery capacity is measured in milliamp hours. This helps to explain our battery life. You'll see the J5 has basically a 2200 milliamp hour battery. That's right at their brand average, but pretty low compared to the overall average of 3500 milliamp hours. But again, this just depends on some of those vacuums have higher suction powers, draws, things like that you don't get with the Roomba. So they really squeeze a lot of power and performance out of their batteries. Next, we're talking about height. Height is measured in inches. You'll notice with Roomba vacuums, we do not have LiDAR navigation, so there's no module up top. This helps their vacuums be a little bit shorter, which is a benefit to you if you have a lot of furniture around your house and areas that you hope your vacuum will be able to go under. That might be the difference for you. This comes in at 3.4 inches for its height. The brand average is 3.5. and you'll see the overall average is 3.6. That's going to be a good mix of vacuums with and without LiDAR navigation. Moving right along to our bin capacity, this is measured in milliliters. We have a 400 milliliter bin. The brand average is 375, so we're slightly above average there within iRobot's lineup. And compared to all tested, you'll see the average is 422 milliliters. Good news is that you got this self-empty base. Now we're talking about water tank capacity. This is also measured in milliliters. We have a 210 milliliter water tank on our J5. Brand average is going to be higher at 351, but that includes the Brava Jet mops, and those are dedicated mops. So that's why you're seeing a difference there. Compared to all the mopping RoboVacs or just RoboMops that we've reviewed, the average is only 233. So we're well within that average there for a vacuum and mop combo. And last but not least, let's talk about cost. So you'll see with this vacuum, it doesn't matter if we're comparing it within iRobot's own lineup or the overall average, we're right at the average. So this is a great visualizer and feel for what the average RoboVac can accomplish out there. But the key with the J5 is it actually gives you above average performance, near perfect score in cleaning. You can't factor in the dual brush roller system with that AeroForce cleaning system that this vacuum has that helps prevent tangles. That's an added benefit that you wouldn't see just looking at the numbers. And I would still argue the iRobot series, any of their J vacuums with their obstacle avoidance on the front is above average from all the competition out there too. So it will do a better job. None of them are perfect, but it will do a better job recognizing poop, pet waste, and cords than most other vacuums out there. So where does that leave us with our J5 Plus? Well, here's what you need to know. First thing is the Plus just signifies the self-empty base, and that's definitely essential and non-negotiable today if you're looking for a new RoboVac. That's the whole point. It gives you one extra layer of being removed from your chores. Next is going to be having that sensor on the front. If you have a pet that poops around the house, this is a no-brainer. If you have a lot of cords and clutter around the house, this will be a no-brainer. Is it perfect? No, but it's definitely towards the top in regards to all the competition out there. So they do a great job, and it continues to get better and refined over time. So really, really happy with the navigation. And we can't forget about the cleaning performance. This does a fantastic job. Now, in regards to mopping, this is going to be very basic. I really wish they gave us app controls. That's definitely a miss. This is just a gravity fed system, so there's no control for water flow and things like that. If you want more of those controls, you'd have to look at like the BravaJet M6. So that really is what it comes down to. What do you want? What do you need? How much do you care about mopping? If you want to do occasional floor cleaning and mopping, then something like this would be great and worthwhile. If you want to mop consistently every day, and that's kind of the sole key and focus of getting a vacuum like this, you might be better off with just buying a J6 Plus or J7 Plus and picking up that dedicated BravaJet M6 separately.